Hi, hello, welcome back to the Onkruid channel, welcome back to another Onkruid video. We've already done a short little video about focusing, I can imagine, I think I remember, about Gendlin's therapy approach, focusing-oriented psychotherapy, which is mainly focused on using your body as a source of information. Really tapping into that main part of your body, your throat area, your chest area, and your stomach area, looking out for felt senses and seeing what those vague bodily signals can mean for you potentially, what meaning they hold. There's always more. For my therapy education, I recently had to read an excerpt out of a book by Ann Weiser Cornell, a very important author in the focusing field. I believe also a student of Gendlin, or I think they have at least had contact, and she is very much into focusing herself. The book is called The Power of Focusing, a practical guide to emotional self-healing. I had to study the English title for a little bit there because the Dutch title is a little bit different. And one of the main things that caught my eye in the really primary chapters we were reading, really like just still the introductory chapters, was a nice little list, a nice little summary of 6 situations where Gendlin's focusing might be applicable. And that's just exactly the list I want to go through with you today. So these are 6 situations where you might be helped by focusing in therapy, or even better, by focusing on your own. What focusing exactly is and how to do it on your own, it's a bit too broad of a subject for this video. I digress. When can focusing help? First of all, if you're already in therapy and it feels like you are stuck in a loop, you are stuck in a repetitive loop of keeping on saying the same things, keeping on repeating the same things, or of like not feeling anything new, just very cognitively being there in the session, and it feels like you're in a rut. It feels like it's rusty, like everything is stuck together. There's no dynamo anymore, there's no movement anymore, there's no vitality. That's when focusing can help, to try and feel like, in this felt sense, what am I feeling right now? How can I progress from there? What more information is there than what I am supplying from the top of the dome here already? Your body is wiser than your brain often is. The second one is all about wanting to know what you feel and want in life. Important stuff. Things we humans often just pass up on. We often gross over it. We don't even think about what we are feeling or what we actually want in the moment. We fill it in with what we think we should feel or should want. Especially men. They are often not really trained to be in touch, to attune to their emotions, so they often just fill it in with what they think is right, but they don't really stand still and feel. And women can also be like estranged from the source, in a sense that they often learn to put their own emotions to the side, to care for others. So both men and women can face difficulties in like really standing still and feeling what they want and what they feel. That's where focusing comes in. Third possible situation where focusing might be applicable is if you encounter overwhelming feelings that come like a tsunami, like a very big wave crashing over you, and you feel completely lost in them, you feel sucked away in them, you drown in them. Things like anger, fear, sadness, they can all really consume you as a human. And the first step of focusing, one of the most important steps, is creating a safe distance, creating a safe space between you and the emotion. Smelling the soup instead of putting your head in there, or instead of keeping the lid shut, you know? You need to be able to be with your emotions, not in your emotions necessarily, but you need to keep them company, to be with them. And when the emotions are overwhelming, it's very important to first of all focus on that step. Focusing is all about letting those emotions exist without you having to run away from them. A fourth situation is all about if you want to get rid of certain blockages in your life, or if you're like dealing with addiction. Focusing can also come in handy there, according to Ann Weiser Cornell. I want to do X, but I'm not doing it. I want to quit X, but I'm not doing it. That's what focusing can help you with. Try and figure out what those reasons are. They might not be accessible to you at the moment, but they might kind of present themselves in those vague bodily feelings at the murky edge we call the felt sense. Focusing helps you to, in a kind, caring manner, listen to that part of you that is avoiding responsibility and try to get it on board again, get it back on track, try to have every part of you aligned. Fifth option to use focusing Focusing is also very useful for when you want to lessen the burden of your inner critic and you want to learn to be more mild and loving towards yourself. Through focusing, you can learn to reform that internal critic to an ally, to a provider of additional information that you can use, you can listen to, but you don't always have to listen to. And it doesn't always have to be like stomping you into the ground because of how bad you are or shamed you should be. No, it's just something that you can use to your advantage. Those two are a bit connected, right? Option 4 and 5. If there's a blockage keeping you from, for example, seeing your family more often, even though you would want to invest in the value of family, into family values, focusing, getting rid of that blockage, feeling why that blockage is there and what it wants to tell you in order to find your growth step, your living forward energy, and really get out of that rut, get along with your family a bit better. Of course, that's gonna turn down for what, but it's also gonna turn down your internal critic a little bit, because you're no longer not living accordingly to your values. You're investing in them, and your critic is going to be like, okay, yeah, I respect that, good job, you do you, I'll shut up for a while. The sixth and final occasion where focusing might come in handy is when you need to make hard or just make any type of decisions in general. If decisions are really that hard to make, your daily life can become kind of a minefield. Everything triggers your worry and doubts about which side to pick, what side of the decision to choose for, what solution to pick, what choice to make. You feel unsafe. There's confusion, there's doubts about yourself and about your decision-making skills. There might even be anxiety. It's best that you take decisions from your whole person, and you can only listen to your whole person and actually be in touch with what it wants to tell you if you have kind of mastered a little bit of focusing. If you can use your attention to go down into your body and see what's there. See what's there without running away from it and keep it company. See what it wants to tell you. If you are able to do that, according to Gendlin, the founder of the therapy school, if you are able to do that, just keep it company. The felt sense will do the rest for you. Isn't that beautiful? Quick recap. 6 situations where you can use focusing according to Ann Weiser Cornell. First one, if you feel stuck in therapy. Second one, if you want to know what you actually feel and want. Third one, all about dealing with overwhelming emotions. Fourth one, getting rid of blockages or addiction. Fifth one, if you want to be less critical towards yourself and you want to have more mildness and self-love. And the sixth and final one, if you have difficult decisions to make. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this helped you out in some way, shape or form. See you in the next one. Bye bye.